buona domenica, ovviamente un benvenuto a questa Zoom. Puntualissimi, cerchiamo di partire, mancano pochissime persone che devono entrare in sala e siamo pronti, direi. Ok, vediamo, mancano ancora, vedo una cinquantina di persone che stanno entrando. Ok, in ogni caso, nel frattempo, oltre ai benvenuto ovviamente a questa domenica speciale di fine ottobre, sono son passati un po' i mesi caldi, no? Laddove abbiamo sentito tanti aggiornamenti in questo periodo, no? Dove ci facevano vedere una grande visione ovviamente di quello che ci aspettava. Ecco, i tempi sono maturi, ci sono oramai avvicinamenti non più alla visione, ma alla realizzazione di tutto quello che abbiamo visto in questi mesi. Ne avrete già un assaggio probabilmente molto importante questa mattina e quindi partiamo con questo aggiornamento non solo di Maya, ma anche di tutti gli altri argomenti, ovviamente,
Other
ma partiamo
topics,
dal
but let's
principe
start
del nostro
with
business, quindi proprio
the
da
core of our
Maya.
business. So let's
E
start
passo
from
la parola
Maya.
a
Okay, now I
Francesco
give the
Caico
floor to
che
Francesco
vi illustrerà
Caico that
ovviamente
will
cose anche nuove,
explain
diciamolo
new
pure,
things,
e
even new
aggiornamenti su
things,
tutti i
some
lavori fatti in
updates
questo
on what
periodo. A te,
we have been
Francesco.
working so far. Okay,
Buongiorno a
I give the floor
tutti,
to you
grazie
now,
Claudio.
Francesco. Good morning to
Sì,
you, everyone.
tanti
Thank you,
aggiornamenti,
Claudio.
tante cose nuove.
Okay, there are many
Come
things I would
sempre
like to
cerco
explain. As
sempre di
always, I
parlare
try to
in modo lento,
I
in
try
modo
not
tale
to
che le traduttrici
to speak
Giovannina
slowly in
in
order for
inglese e Anni
Giovanina and Annie to
studenti francesi
translate
riescano
properly
a
so that they
seguirmi.
can
Oggi
keep
parliamo
up
di
with
un
me.
qualcosa che abbiamo
Okay,
tenuto
today I will
molto
be talking
segreto,
about something that we
molto
have kept
segreto
secret
e su
for
cui
as
stiamo
a
lavorando
secret.
da
We have
un
been
po' di
working
tempo con
on this
tanta
for a
energia
while with a lot
e
of
siamo
energy,
arrivati
and
oggi al
we
dunque.
have arrived
Oggi
now to
iniziamo già a
some, we can now
presentarvelo
draw some conclusions.
e non lo presenterò da solo, vi
Today,
farò tutta una bellissima
I will
parte
present this,
introduttiva
I will
e poi vediamo
I will do the
insieme come
introductory
sarà.
part, and then I will
Allora,
give the floor to
oggi quindi
somebody
parlo di
else.
qualcosa di
Okay,
nuovo, di
today I
rivoluzione
will talk about
concreta
something
nel
new,
mondo dell'intelligenza artificiale,
a
di
concrete
qualcosa che può
revolution in the
collaborare
world of
davvero con
AI,
tantissimo
something that
non
will be able
rimane
to
soltanto
collaborate
un
with all
mero
of us. It's not
assistente
just
come lo
an assistant,
chiamiamo oggi,
assistant
domenica descrissa, ma un
as we
qualcosa di più.
see today,
Si
not
chiama
just
Cognisphere
a
ed
query
è un
response
prodotto a sé.
approach. It's called
Quindi sì,
Cognisphere.
Claudio,
So
assolutamente sempre
it's
collegato a
a
Maya,
separate
sempre
product, so
collegato
it's
alle
still related
tecnologie,
to
ma è un
Maya,
prodotto
to
che
our
vive e può
technology, but
vivere
at the
di sé
same time,
stesso,
it
che
can live by
capiremo nel corso
itself. It
della
can have its
mattinata
own,
in questa
it can be
video
used by
introduzione.
itself.
Non è
And then I will
soltanto un
explain
nuovo
in this video
prodotto,
called
ma
why.
siamo davanti a veramente un
We
nuovo
have
paradigma,
now a
un
new
nuovo
paradigm.
approccio,
We have
siamo davanti
introduced
a
a new
una nuova era
approach.
dell'AI
It's a new era
rispetto a
in
come la
AI
interpretavamo ieri
compared to
e poco
how
fa.
we saw
Cognisphere
it
segna
yesterday and we see
un
it
cambio di
today. The
passo
Conisphere is a
nel modo di
different
intendere
approach
l'intelligenza
in how
artificiale.
we see
Non siano più
artificial
platform,
intelligence.
sistemi
We
che
are
rispondono e
used to
basta,
systems
a
that
domanda
are
chiedi una
just
risposta.
responding from
Abbiamo creato proprio
a
un
question
sistema
you
che
get an
pensa,
answer. We have created a
spiega
system
e che
that
può
is
anche
able to
agire.
think, explain, and can
Cognisphere quindi
also
è un
act.
prodotto che
So
può
it's
essere
a
usato
product
anche
that
su
can
Maya e
also
dopo
used
vedremo
on Maya. We will
delle
see
applicazioni e dei collegamenti
later
proprio
some
diretti con
applications
il nostro prodotto
on
in
Maya.
verità. Dobbiamo interpretarlo come
We
un
have to
motore
see it
cognitivo
as
autonomo,
a
quindi
autonomous
una
cognitive
mente digitale che
engine.
discrimina
So a
l'informazione
digital
in funzione
mind
di ciò
that is
soltanto generare
not
dei testi,
it's not
ma
limited
che
to just
analizza,
generating
collega
text, but it can
l'informazione,
also connect
costruisce
information. It
ragionamenti
can
anche
build
complessi,
reasoning, complete
pronti a
and
diventare anche
complex
delle azioni,
reasoning, and
se
it can
necessario.
also
Ok?
take actions if
Immaginate come
necessary.
se
Let's
fosse
imagine
un
this is just, imagine it as a digital colleague that is not just able to understand what you're asking, but is also able to show you step by step how it's getting to it. So it's showing the complete reasoning, and if defaulted, if configured, it can also perform implement what it has been reasoning on. This is called Cognisphere. In easy words, this is a digital environment where you can perform actions that yesterday was impossible to execute. It's not just a chat or just software, it's something more dynamic. So let's imagine it as a digital workspace. I don't know if you have ever been to McDonald's. Sometimes there are huge tables for kids where there are everything for kids. So it's a space where all the information is organized in front of us, all documents, data, images, rules as well. Everything is at hand in a structured and organized way and a connected way. So when we see the Cognisphere, it's not just the result of the reason, but we can so see the rationale behind the reasoning. We can see it if the level of complexity needs some further insights. It's like a whiteboard, a cognitive whiteboard, which is also alive, which can understand concept and is also taking actions if necessary. And it's dynamic because it's changing over time. It can adapt according to the interaction, according to what we write or what we do, as if a mind would do, and rapidly growing mind would do, as we do, as our mind does. So it is connecting all the points in a logical math. Every connection represents a relationship. Every node is an explanation. This way, we can also follow the reasoning of artificial intelligence, and we cannot just read the answer. Okay, let's say that sometimes the response is not always correct. We have to lie. What does it mean? It's not an abstract concept. There is nothing abstract in this. It's a place where the thinking process is important and the information is not confused as it happens with traditional AI. It is connected and it is explainable. Each information is explainable. So every single node can be explained and you can have a look at it. So it can manage huge amounts of data and documents without always maintaining clarity. And this shouldn't be taken for granted, because many artificial intelligence lose quality when it comes to results every time that you ask for further insights. So each information maintains its meaning, and each document maintains in its context. No concepts are diluted. Every time that I ask insightful questions, AI is always missing a part from the beginning. So let's imagine this is like a digital library, an endless digital library, or something like that. When it comes to the concept of being endless, we are working on this. It's like an open book on the right page with the right information, where you can see in real time. We can see it as a concept map, how the chapters are interconnected between themselves. The most important thing about Cognisphere is that inside we don't have the hallucinations, the so-called AI hallucinations. So the system can't invent anything. All the information is linked to the real verifiable source that can also be edited. So this means that it's quite steady, it's quite stable, coherent, and extremely reliable. reliable. And the reliability of data, as you know, beside data security, is something we always take into consideration. It's very important for us. This was born from a challenge, and this project was born from a challenge, and that's why we kept it as a secret. We will make artificial intelligence not just reactive. We wanted to create a system that is collaborative, that can collaborate with us as if it were a colleague. So traditional AIs, they do answer, but they can't understand. They can generate text, but they can retain the memory of the context, or if they do so, they do it poorly. So the result is that at some point you can't understand what the AI is doing, what it's writing. Is it missing something? Is it missing some context? Is it inventing pieces of information? We have decided to do something to exceed this challenge, to overcome this challenge. The first thing is reasoning, verification, and execution. All these phases are happening in the same space. It's like having an assistant that can talk to a colleague, that can think for you and can also act on your behalf. In order to understand how this works, the first thing I want to highlight is the linguistic model, which is the part that includes the natural language. It can understand what you say, can identify the tone, nuances, and intentions. And the second thing I want to highlight is the knowledge graph. It's a logical neural that is connecting concepts between them. It's like a huge mind map. On this, I will try to give you more clarity in the second half of this morning, of this event. So the linguistic model can understand the meaning, and the graph is connecting every data. So this is the real difference. So the system is processing instantly a vast amount of data. And I want to highlight this part, so the huge amount of data, because the more data you have, the more you need more computational power. And this can be a delay, as it can be perceived sometimes, but sometimes it's better to assign delay to have more quality. The result is that the system can reason as if it were an expert that can explain it to a colleague. Another difference here we have from traditional AIs. So all this reasoning is something we already know, which is related to think flow. We have already mentioned them many times. They allowed us to introduce a real milestone, and we are and here again for us is still very important for us, the interconnection. So for example, if we ask who are our most loyal customers, if we ask this to a system, the cognitive sphere is not coming up with a random list, is coming up with a think flow, a reasoning flow, a specific reasoning flow. It can gather the information, it analyzes the frequencies of the inputs, the behaviors, and then is just providing a result that is a result that also taking into consideration the rationale behind it, all the logical paths, the logical reasoning, just like a thinking process. Inside this, there are mechanisms or concepts from which I will just mention a couple. I just want to give you a further overview of what I'm talking about. It's a very complex mechanism that is composed of that is made up of different gears. So the key technology is called cognitive flow shaping, and it allows us to shape the way in which the system thinks. So this allows AI to to explain the reasoning, the rules that behind what we are asking, behind the responses. For example, when you want to evaluate if a provider is a valid provider, you can use punctuality before price as a criterion. If I wanted to set this kind of information to somebody who is not an expert, I can lose quality. This quality can improve over time, and thanks to the information it is provided with, unless traditional AI that lose quality over time. Then we will also transition from reasoning to action. Once it has its own reasoning, it can prepare some operational actions, so it can connect information, it can verify the priorities, and it can create a context that is ready to be implemented. Let's say, for example, to send an email structured with all the information that is ready to be sent, but it is not needed to be sent. What we have been working on for a long time is this, but Maya will have a service that will also be activated to pass from to turn decisions into actions. Here we have also another player, a new ally that is called Maya Clone. Maya Clone could act in real life. You will be able to send emails, it could fill in modules, or it can also handle business activities like booking, purchases, and stuff like that. And I will also give you other information later that I think you like. Maya Clone can just limit itself to a proposal that can be made. The action doesn't have to be completed. We are the one who set the rules. Maya Clone will do what we want it to do.
Cognitive self.
Together to Maya Clone, we have the cognitive self. The cognitive self keeps a memory, retains a memory of all the information that we are providing, which is the cognitive self. The cognitive self of the user and the organization is just like our memory inside a digital device. It's a memory that is evolving, that is learning language, preferences, rules. And every time we use we will use the tool, we will see it customized, more like us. Not just to sometimes after doing some tests, I expect it to, when I use some other AI, I expect other AIs to understand my way of interacting with AI. It happens sometimes, but it's not, the results are not so good. This should be very important to take that giant leap. And within Cognisphere, there are also other key tools that are used to connect data and build rules, logical rules, and others are used to show where the information comes from, and others to show you what rationale has been followed. All these tools are used for just one thing: to make visible, to make AI reasoning visible. It is just like you are inside the mind of the system, and you can see all the single connection, on how the single connection have been made and built. It's such a powerful instrument and tool that we are now sharing, and we are making it visible for everyone, and now we are giving you some more detail. So let's start with some examples. Let's say a tender, okay? We have a tender of a complex business tender. A business decides to take part in a tender. There are many requirements, policies, documents, certificates. With Conisphere, all these elements are interconnected between them. Maya will create a map with all the requirements, and it will show in real time where there are contradictions and missing parts. And then there will be the think flow. With the think flow, we'll step in. For this case, for example, we will have a specific inflow dedicated to eligibility. So it will detect the critical points and it will suggest some corrective actions. And the dossier, the final dossier, will be generated automatically, complete with sources and references. So all the cases where you have to complete a tender and you are missing some parts, you will be fixing these problems with this. For example, another example, in a bank, for a mortgage application, you've got many levels. With the Conisphere, you can track all the data in all the levels, guarantees, documents, information, and you can unify all of this information in a single cognitive map. There are think flows for the specific dominion as well. In this case, we have specific credit think flows that can evaluate parameters, and they can also explain the logical path that is followed. All of this within Conisphere allows you to see the data in a way that wasn't possible yesterday. There was no technology to do that. In healthcare, for example, a person can upload the test reports. They can also wear wearables like a smartwatch or a heartbeat device, and they can they can explain the symptoms and therapies. With the Conisphere, we create a personal health graph. So a personal map that keeps track all the connections of all the data of each person. This allows us to approach data in a different way in healthcare that before wasn't possible. So all of this allows us to I would like to show it to you soon. I would like to show it to you in real time. The most important thing is I want to convey today is that the Conisphere is transforming knowledge into visible thinking process. This is traceable and that is queryable over time. What is the real added value of Conisphere is the technology in which the way of thinking changes and the way of deciding changes. So it is amplifying and in expanding the human mind, and it allows it to work better. So it's taking care of all the things that are slowing us down with a model of understanding which is innovative when we have to make decisions and when we have to execute those decisions. What was the linking element that I wanted to create between Maya and Conisphere? In Maya, we have Maya clone. The Maya clone concept is our extensions, our digital extension, and it will be like our digital twin that will use your preferences, your ways of reasoning to respond to, in the digital world, to other clones in AI, in the AI world. Maya clone can only act if the actions of responses and the actions outside Maya are enabled by us. It can't be autonomous, so we won't be in that scenario where a Maya clone will purchase products for us. No, that won't happen. It would follow our rules. So this model will open up the way, pave the way to the sharing of knowledge before there was no technology to do such a thing. So everyone will be able to share their own technology in a traceable way. They will be able to share it, so they won't have to explain every time what they are representing or what they are selling. But it will be the Conisphere, the engine behind it, that thanks to Maya Clone, that will be able to interact directly with the user. So we will be able to create a Maya clone that can handle our negotiations if we want to put some products on sale, and we won't have to worry about the deal stage or phase. So sometimes I have to sell things on Facebook and Vinted on Subito, and so the dealing, the part related to negotiation and deals is always the part which is the most demanding one. So by setting some specific rules that are set by us, the AI will be able to handle the negotiations and the product delivery and also the commercial negotiation by doing the sales, by making the sales on the wallet. All of it, well, is taking me back to our adventure with Synapse, to something that happened when we were awarded with a recognition at the 10 Digital Week. At that time, it was about the metaverse. As I always say, we have many bricks that are ready. This brick that we have is not just ready, but we can also sell it tomorrow. And when the technology of metaverse will be ready, there again we will be ready to enter that market, because we already have all the products in our hands. So in order to sum up, Conisphere is the bridge between language and thinking. So it's a system that is not just responding, but is also reasoning, explaining, and collaborating with each of us. So is the joining point between knowledge and responsibility with respect to data and information. So today, the Conisphere in artificial intelligence today is not just magic, it's not magic anymore. It's not, it becomes a way to work less, thinking all together, and thinking better. I think this is the end. Thank you. And now I'll give the floor to who will show you, who's more capable of me, let's say, who will show you this technical aspect. So I give the floor now to Daniele Marinelli.
Buongiorno, buongiorno a tutti.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you give me a thumb up, please, just to show it to me? Okay. Thank you, Francesco, for your speech. Sorry, we can't see you. Yeah, my camera is on. No, you can't see me? Okay, I can see myself. We can't see you. No, sorry about that. No, we can't. Okay, just give me 1 second. I need to turn it on. Okay, can you see me now? No, no yet.
Come mai? Da che dipende?
No.
Fotocamera. Non so che dire. Cioè, io mi vedo qui tra le partecipanti.
I don't know, because I can see myself. So before it was working. I think now we can't see you anymore. Try to leave the video call and then you can join again. Yeah. Let's see.
Ok.
Tanto Claudio abbiamo capienza per fare questo test.
We have enough time now to do this test, yeah.
Poi noi facciamo intelligenza artificiale, cose complicate.
we work on artificial intelligence, complex things, and we are unable to turn on our camera. It's quite funny. Yeah, this is related to the connection problem. We, go to the moon, and that sometimes we can just see each other on the moon. Yeah, this is also the funny part of our job.
Eccomi, mi vedete ora?
Okay, can you see me now? Yes, we can see you now. Okay, perfect. Okay, lovely. I don't know what happened. I can see myself, but you didn't see myself. Well, it's not like a great spectacle, but yeah. Well, there is nothing to admire, but yeah. Okay, so thank you, Francesco Caico, for introducing the conisphere concept. And we are sure that in order to understand things, we also need to see them. So let's start from the basis. How did we reason to build the conisphere? And then I will show it to you, okay, in action. We'll show it to you in action. So conisphere, as Francesco was saying, is designed to analyze and connect vast amounts of data. So let's, for example, imagine that when a human was born, the first thing it does is to learn language. And this is something Francesco said. So there is an engine that is related to language in order to understand and dialogue when it has to give answers, just like a human being. So it learns to talk and learns to understand and explain. And this is the language engine. And for that, we rely on Maya. But what happens in our mind, so in our brain? Let's imagine that Annie, in this moment, is reading a book. Okay, let's imagine that she's reading a random book. I don't know, Red Dunes. The process that Annie's brain is doing is following. It's not memorizing all the words in the book, because that will be useless and very demanding. So what the Annie's brain is doing, like any other brain is doing, and this argument, this topic that I am discussing, for people like Massimo Dussesi will be very fascinating. So by reading the book, Annie's brain is starting selecting important information such as characters, the role of each character, and the events, the key events inside the book that are connected to each character. Do we all agree on this? We don't have to memorize all the words from the 1,000 pages. Perfect. So let's imagine now Annie is reading a second book where that is talking about Francesco that is going to the beach. So her brain is doing the same. So his brain will select the most useful information to memorize and to keep inside the memory, what we call synapses. So in this case, again, the title, the characters, the roles, and all the key elements of the book, and the plot as well. So why am I talking about this example? Because the human brain is works in a very fascinating way, because once Annie reads 2 books, if I ask her, Annie, sorry, can you tell me which elements, shared elements between the two books? Annie's brain is not going back to all the words in the books, in one of the books. So one part in Annie's brain is triggered, one part related to the information related to that question, if there are any correlations or comparisons as well. So this is what we did. We'll try to replicate this. And I also want to explain why the conisphere was born. What will be the targeted customers, clients for conisphere? And I also want to show you the huge potential of conisphere. But there are some premises. The first one, in this time, I don't know, in a 2 months time or 3 months time, we don't know right now, we don't know there is any other product that is similar to Conisphere for its approach. This product is one of a kind. So let's say this is a rapidly growing word. So we don't know what will happen in 2 weeks time. We are not sure right now, but right now we can say that there is anything similar that is working like Conisphere. The second thing I want to say is that you will learn, and we will analyze it together, that the only limitation of Conisphere is only and solely the capability of the engine, of the machine on which Conisphere is built. This means that the way in which is structured, Conisphere is structured compared to, unlike other realities, other AI tools, Conisphere is the only limit of Conisphere is the one which the engine on which Conisphere is built on. And the third thing is that the most important thing is that the Conisphere is opening a new way of analyzing data and is opening the boundaries of our businesses to approaching to a new way of being perceived and new way to acquire new customers and clients. Conisphere, most probably, Conisphere is not of interest for the Ushare users. Maybe there are 3% of the people that could be interested in using Conisphere, because this is not the target. The target of Conisphere, and you will see it very soon, are the big companies, the professional research, and in public institutions like courts, in healthcare. We will also look at the intelligence sector. But when I will explain it to you, when I will show it to you, I will give you some happy news on how Conisphere could be a killer app, what is called killer app right now by the youngsters, because we also came up with an idea that I think you will like to make the most of Conisphere. Also, for people, common people, the people like us who are not here to represent a big bank, a big institution, or anything big in the healthcare sector. Okay, but now let's go straight to the point, and I want to share the screen with you, and I show to you how Conisphere works. Okay, just give me 1 sec that I need to open the tab, and then I can share the screen. Hopefully you will see it. Okay, just 1 sec. We are almost there. Okay, I'm about to share the screen. Can you see my screen right now? Okay, thumb up please. Thumb up please if you can see that. Okay, all good. Okay, this graphics is still a draft, as you can see, because this is just a newborn, but this works to make it work. And I'm also giving you another piece of important information. Right now, what I'm showing to you, the Conisphere is not online. It's not currently online. Online, there is just the algorithm that the Conisphere is working, that is using a semantic engine to understand the responses. So right now, Conisphere is working on a MacBook Air. Okay, in order to show you what Conisphere is, we conducted some experiments. Okay, we uploaded in the Conisphere memory, we uploaded. Okay, just give me 1 sec. So I need to reduce your icons because otherwise I can't see the entire screen. Okay, some documents. So we have uploaded some documents. Can you see my screen? So this is the part in Conisphere when I can upload documents of any documents I want to work on. PDFs, docs, TXT, images, even videos and audio files. In this specific case, I had fun uploading a curriculum of 31 of the employees at Synapsia, Stefano Mancuso, Tulia, etc. So we uploaded also other documents, not just the curricula, the CVs, but also the visual representation of the teamwork of the work team, and we also uploaded a document from the internet, all the compliance rules for the employees that are working in Abu Dhabi under the EGM. So what requirements, what characteristics they should have to work for us. We also have an office plan. And the most important thing is that the Conisphere is not just using the knowledge as a database, the documents that I am uploading, but I can also give to it a URL link, a URL, like a link to a website where it can tap into information. Sorry, Francesco, can you still see Conisphere? Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, once I upload my document cluster that I want to connect with Conisphere, okay, I just need to refresh the page, okay. Okay, this is what happens. It happens what I've just explained. So for each CV, I can zoom it in so that you can see it. For each CV, I am not acquiring all the words, as I was saying in the book example. I just acquire the main information. So who's the correct the CV is, the professional experiences of this person by clicking on all the bubbles. I can extract all the information by clicking the bubbles as if it was a human brain where information is organized and correlated. So Umberto Sorrenti, for example, we got here, Luta Scolavezza, Giovannina Chiosso, all the parts all around there are the information that is inside the CVs, just like with example just like in the book example. So now I can query Cognisphere and I can ask it, for example, okay, I will write it in English so that even the French people can understand it here. Okay, based on the 8NG rules.
Sto chiedendo in forma testuale.
So I am asking, so based on the ADGM rules, if you can tell me what the employees that are compliant with those rules. Okay, don't take into consideration the processing time, because now it's working on my PC. You have to imagine it on a server, a proper server. So let's give it some time to process all the information. Okay, I'm just enlarging my screen now. I can't see you, but I hope hopefully you will be able to see it. Okay, it's all good, Francesco Caico? Yes, it is. Okay, so based on a banal request, the Conisphere has analyzed the document with the ADGM rules, and then is giving you an overview, a classification of all the rules, and it's also providing the main information that I need. So now I'm asking, I'm asking you something else. Okay, create a list of employees. I misspelled the word, I hope you can understand it. Okay, based on the information of the ADGM rules, is creating a list of all the people, of the employees that are compliant with ADGM rules. So let's start with let's do another example. Okay, let's imagine that today I want to create a new application, okay, new app. So I'm asking it, I want to develop I want to develop the UX and UI for new app. Tell me who are the people to engage, and I want to create a new application. I need to develop the UX and UI. Tell me who employees I should select from the list. Tell me which employees I should select from the list. Just give it some time to process the information. Okay, as you can see here, as a result, I have here the skills, the punctual and precise skills of each employees, of each selected employees for that specific role, and it's also giving you a summary table. I know that some of you are really quite happy how to imagine it for many use cases, but now I'm doing something more. Okay, so I'm pasting one part of the text. I'm just selecting it now, and then I want to see what are these X parts that it uses to create this response, what parts it extracted from the entire piece of information. So here I'm telling it what are the synapses it used inside within that constellation to select the response. Okay, I'm showing it to you in from a different semantic scheme. And as you can see here, we have a concept map of all the information extracted. So this is Cognisphere in action. Okay, I'm refreshing the page again. So if we can do other examples, let's do it. Okay, some of you can now ask themselves, but there are others that are doing something similar. Well, the most famous artificial intelligence is OpenAI, ChatGPT. But let's test it to see what ChatGPT actually does. Okay, here I've got ChatGPT. I'm uploading all the CVs. There's some issue because I can just upload 10 files. Okay, let's go back to what I was saying before. So, Cognisphere is about analyzing huge amounts of data. At GITEX, we were able to show Cognisphere to one of our next partners. I won't mention it directly. Is one of the companies that is managing data centers, is the worst in the world, is the biggest in the world, is the biggest in the world. I won't mention the name, I won't provide a name in advance. So we did the test, it was on my PC, personal PC. In that case, we upload 23,000 CVs. And this series were of the employees from a huge company that is working in the petrol sector, because this company has some needs. The HR department have some needs, so they have to intervene, they have to decide who is going to do that intervention, or maybe they have to work on a new project, they have to choose who has to work on that project. So we decided to upload 23,000 curriculums, and we have decided to create Cognisphere to do some simulations. So for example, I have to build a petrol platform. Tell me which employees are the most suitable, and tell me about the skills. So this company was quite it was quite shocked to see how we can handle data. But why we can handle data? Because the huge work they have done, you have seen that before when I asked Cognisphere to show me what pieces of information that has been used to produce the answer. Just like in the book example, every time I'm not querying the entire database word by word as the various ChatGPT work. Cognisphere is able to contextualize, understand, and therefore select only the pieces of information that is useful to provide a response by identifying it within a huge amount of data. So this means that in terms of computational resources, we are quicker and faster. We don't need exaggerated computational time. So you have seen on my PC how I elaborated my information in just a few seconds. So this is translating in cost efficiency and of course time saving. Imagine for a company with many employees, but this is not just the only example. There are also other examples that I came up during this brainstorming with this company that decided, thanks to Cognisphere, to be part of a partnership with us to develop together, to work together on Cognisphere. So let's say, for example, in the healthcare sector, thanks to Cognisphere, we will be able, for example, to upload all the diagnoses from the Italian or French hospitals. We will be able to upload all the analysis that have been carried out to get to those diagnoses. Then I can ask Francesco Caico I decide to, for example, I can take Francesco Caico's test reports. On the base of this analysis, can you tell me which analysis is the most aligned and suitable? Where here, instead of a ChatGPT that in order to give you an answer, what doesn't know the answer is inventing it with a huge risk that Francesco Caico is saying something to Francesco Caico that is wrong when it's not true. Cognisphere works in a different way, because it's using real information, concrete information, as is providing the response only on the base of that information. So if I was responsible enough to upload reliable information of real, for example, diagnosis, what I get is a result that is absolutely coherent with the real diagnosis. But this is just in the healthcare sector. I can give you many other examples, including an example that is an example in the working environment. This example was commissioned by a governmental American entity. This entity asks us to use Conisphere to upload all the trial reports from the courts and combine judges to the sentences and verify if a judge when posed against the same case behaved in a different way according to the person who was in court. So in that case, the rules and the regulations, we can see if the judge was influenced by other factors. These are just some examples, but let's say that there are many other examples, but the ideal targets are big institutions, big companies, and let's say also professional studies. For example, the practices, architecture practices or studies or law firms, for example. Maybe they can just upload all the documents from the experience, and then when they ask to do some work, they can ask Conisphere to extract the information that is useful for that work, not just based on even invented data, but on what real knowledge that he himself uploaded. So going back to the initial topic, why is now working on local PC? Okay, let's imagine the Italian healthcare ministry doesn't want to upload their data online. It wants that information to be in their own server. They want that information to be in their own division online. So Conisphere, it was born to be installed locally and be purchased and be bought for that company. So this tool, let's say that this tool is one of a kind. No one in the world been able to create something which is similar to what the capability of interconnect information like Cognisphere. This is something that is new, but some of you can think, okay, so Cognisphere just will be for just big companies and big institutions. Yes, let's say that it's likely will be for big companies and big institutions, because let's think that if, for example, I am, I don't know, providing this for the ADNOC company, of course, ADNOC is able to pay quite a lot to use Cognisphere. But from there, a few days ago, there was another necessity, there was another idea that came up a few days ago. Why we ask ourselves, how can we make the most of Cognisphere to help a killer application? So we imagined a word for the youngsters, where there is, for example, Francesco, a 5-year-old student that wakes up in the morning and has the idea to create a video game, but it doesn't have the skills to create a video game. So let's imagine that from a simple app where I can sign up, I input some information on what I can do. For example, I can't do anything, play the guitar or drawing. Francesco can input his information, so he's, for example, a database expert, and Antonio, that I can see online, is also inputting his information. So, for example, he's a web designer. So at that point, it becomes an application where Francesco wakes up in the morning and he says, okay, I want to create a video game. He goes to this application, is asking Cognisphere, tell me which user can help me with the graphics, can help me with the code and stuff like that. So it's getting the list of all the users, is selecting the list, and then those users will receive a notification with big news. Today, Francesco said that he wants to create a video game. Do you want to be part of this project? So there will be a pop-up window where you will have a team of people that collaborate without knowing each other, being in different locations all over the world, to create this project. So why this? Because this can be the killer application that capture the attention of the youngsters, but that can also give a social media sense to Cognisphere that was born as a product for for big companies, but it can also become the engine of an online app for the youngsters. I'm quite proud of Cognisphere, and I hope that this short presentation that is showing Cognisphere in action can be fascinating for you and can be interesting for you. Actually, what is happening is that, and I was already saying that during my last video call, is that by being here in Abu Dhabi, we are exploring, we are going outside the B2C scenario, and we are also going beyond the current context, current situation of Maya, the Maya we know, the Maya we love. Just a couple of minutes before joining the video call, I was saying how I use Maya daily to do my research and stuff like that, or to just send, for example, to generate songs with Maya. But what we are going forward, the direction, our next direction is a different one. So what was someone came to me and asked me how was the participation to GIDEX, and GIDEX allows us to meet new companies, but it was also a way to meet the companies that took part in the event, and we grabbed this opportunity to show our Cognisphere. So this resulted in the second largest company. You will learn the name in a few weeks, because we are working on the final touches for the contract. The second company in the world that is managing data sets and is carrying on data analysis have decided to invest on us to collaborate and use Cognisphere and use it to implement it in terms of power. So the GITEX has also contributed to forming a new relationship, a collaboration with Sharjah, which is another emirate here, to create our second data center here. So the data center in Qatar, we have already started the works on it, and in a few days I will also share some photos of how they have started working on the building on which we will put our data center that, as I said, will be inaugurated by the start of the year. But we have also stipulated, I've already firmed my copy and I'm waiting to get the other copy, signed copy. We have also working to create a second data set in Sharjah, and this means that we will have data sets that will be ours, where in these data centers there will be Maya, there will be Cognisphere, but there will obviously be, this will always be used, the computational power will be always used for third parties. These data centers, even the second data center, will be made with the same model they will be powered by renewable energy. So this data center won't exploit the Earth's resources, but it will be autonomous. And besides, GITEX also contributed to an occasional relationship with which we have formed a relationship that is not related to artificial intelligence, because at GITEX we were able to meet the general manager of one of the biggest banks in the world that is interested, of course, in artificial intelligence. But we talked about Cognosphere, and they also introduced a new challenge for the Synopsys team, because Cognosphere can be the engine for all the procedures that the big banks are carrying out for the KFC or for other money laundering procedures. But this also led to another scenario, because considering that this bank wants to take a step forward towards a platform that can have inside not just the banking accounts, but also the management of cryptocurrencies, but the models of internet transfer. We said we have it, so I showed to them the DTS money, where I remind us, we are not a bank, we are a partner. Our DTS money is our software. So I show it to them. I show it to them DTS money, and the result was one of the implementations on which we are working on to integrate inside the app some features, some new features, thanks to new partnerships which was being presented thanks to Anthony and Meredith. So the opportunity to send money through social media messages, Facebook, Telegram, and WhatsApp. And this is one of, I want to say the name because you will see it soon, you will discover it soon. Let's say one of the 100 biggest banks in the world who wants to be in partnership at 50% on DTS money, in order to take DTS money and co-manage it, thanks to them, and relaunch it on their clients and to an expanded audience in those geographical areas such as Asia and parts of Africa. So this is what these are the results we got at GTEX. So to sum up, we have already formed a partnership to create our second data center. So I know that the ones who have the EMMO are already very happy. I also briefly mentioned the fact that we are now in an advanced phase to end a collaboration with Saudi Arabia to create a third data center that right now, maybe when they know that we have already closed the collaboration with Shasha, they will speed up things, I think. And we are about to end. We have closed and we have formalized a powerful partnership collaboration for the fintech part. So what to say? I don't know what to say, but I'm very, very enthusiastic. I know that some people don't that some people just see it just as information, because we are quite close to what our most important dreams business-wise, because this leads to the direct participation of a bank that is one of the most important banks. This also results in reevaluating the business And also in the way of in order to achieve our final goal, this is an opportunity to be perceived in a different way, because at this point it will be our same bank that will be part of the shadow quotation process. I'm not mentioning anyone here because I'm already used to mention things right after the contract are written and signed, because even then many send emails and they try to create disharmony. But once the contract are signed, I can send whatever they want. The contract is signed, so it's too late. As it happened in the past, sometimes when I was too excited, I was sharing too much information. That sometimes it was used to create, to disharmonize things, because there is a part of people that doesn't want to us to be successful. So they have their own reasons. I don't know. I'm not really interested in that. We are always quite proud of it. And we are also very happy to have a company that is establishing a good positioning. And the most important thing I'm proud of is that unlike other people think, it's not just about being an economic thing. We are about to complete the procedures, the compliance procedure to get some financial gains related to the contract we entered into with Bold. So because of course, by managing such an important financial flow, requires that for the European banks, and most of all for us, that we don't have a good web reputation online for European banks. It requires a high level of attention. So these are small challenges that we are overcoming, but today is not like it's a financial topic. It's not about financial matter. Now it's all about the direction. And now I'm just giving you the last piece of information. When we stipulated the project with Abu Dhabi, we said that it would be a scalable model, a replicable model. So that will be the advantage. The advantage of being here in Abu Dhabi is that the person who is the enemy outside Abu Dhabi will become your friend in Abu Dhabi. So there are unexpected collaborations between Chinese, the American. There is no difference, no matter what. So there are the limits, the boundaries are overcome. So thanks to Board, we were able to start working, and we are about to formalize the cooperation of Jacksonville. It's an American city. It's an super innovative city that will be, they always want to be part of the realization of the development of cognitive city. So what that means? That means that from Europe, we arrived in the Emirates, and now from the Emirates, we are starting to have relationships with partners, partner that will be officialized later in the US. This is not my this is thanks to me. This is thanks to you, most of all to you, that you trusted us. I always remember this, that Ushare was born quite 5 years ago, and 5 years is nothing compared to what the huge companies do. But of course, this have required patience. So thanks to you for your patience as well. And thanks to the ones of you who are still we still have the vision, we still have the trust for what we are doing, and also thanks and congratulations to the people at Synapsia that I really love to work with them because they are able to take the ideas on which we talk about, for example, at the bar, at the pub, with a pint, and they have the ability to transport these ideas into something concrete. You have to know that when Conisphere was born, I want to tell, just to show you how things are created. So Conisphere was born from a specific request that was to analyze legal documents. So go inside legal documents and start to understand the behavior of judges in order to understand how artificial intelligence can work and be useful in this process. Of course, I can share any other information on the committee. But from this, we had a talk. I had a word with Francesco, Sebastiano, and Stefano, and Francesco Sumo, one of the I really like them. I really like him as well. And from this talk, we said, okay, so we can use the technology we developed for the personal profile graph, which is the one of related to selecting graphs, related to ThinkFlow as the cognitive reasoning. And from there, we created the Conisphere engine. So I have to show it to you again because it's too good to be true. Okay, this one is nowhere. We are the only one who have created it. So this capability, this ability to create a neural network with all the information that we take from a document, this type of ability is something no one else has. So I'm waiting for other people to say, okay, who did it take it from? Well, frankly, we are quite happy and proud of the fact that we are the only one to have it. And this unicity is what is leading us to presenting Conisphere to big companies, like important companies. I'm not mentioning them right now. We're saying, okay, inside institutions and inside public administrations, and also inside divisions that are quite important for us from an ethical point of view, because one of the thing we will work on will be related. Okay, I tell you many times that there is a huge attention for individual security. This country is where there is no criminality, there is no danger, not because of what we think. And it's quite true that everyone, if you do not follow a rule, the penalties is quite severe. But also because there is a control activity which is designed to prevent dangerous situations. And this is why life here is so serene, because a 50-year-old girl can go outside at night and she can be reassured that everything will be right. So I can, for example, leave my notebook on the bench at the park and go to get an ice cream and come back and be sure that the notebook will still be there. So these are just some examples. Let's imagine Cognisphere now applied to a system, to information acquisition system at long radius for security, intelligence, and defense. It has a potential that is so huge. And what I want to say here is that in order to create something like Cognisphere, the companies want to pay a lot. So and that benefits and that value will be paid to us. We'll be working on our data sets, and on the same data centers, the same Ushare community will get benefits, will benefit from it. So hoping that I did my best to present, to introduce a new concept, a new scenario in our company and what we are working on, hoping that this will be well perceived, the path and all the efforts we have made, we have put into to create, to become a company that can teach somebody else as well something. We will keep you posted in the last few weeks, but quite soon we will tell you who the next partners, like the bank, the data center, and the other institution that have asked about Cornisphere. And once we got the signed contract, we will share more information, we will share the names. All of this, I'm quite happy with this, and I'm quite serene with this, because despite of the challenges we have daily, we get on, we keep on, and we are quite serene, we are quite quiet and happy, because I can see the vision of this company is now quite close to becoming one of the becoming one of the biggest companies. The last mile is the most challenging step. It's like in a marathon, a 50 kilometers marathon. The last kilometer, just because before hitting the target, is the most challenging one. As you know, you have to endure, you have to be stronger to get to that target. So we are close to that target. We have been through a lot over the last few years, and we have faced many challenges around us. And in this time, more than ever, in this last mile, we need to be together, to stay compacted, and be strong and sure of what we are doing. We are here at work, we are doing our best, and Keiko is always the best at presenting things. Speech is always very valuable, and so we will keep you posted, and we will update you during the next corporate, and then I will give you more information for our new partners that will make this company even more solid and more sustainable. Thank you very much. I hope I wasn't boring. And we keep on working. A big hug to everyone. Have a good Sunday, everyone. Bye.
Recording stopped.